Hi from the fifth dimension. I wanted to welcome you here today. This is for the sign of Libra. I'm going to bring forth someone who is significant in your life who is past. I have been doing this for years, and it has brought a lot of love and light to a very sad situation, which is the loss of someone significant. And I wanted to try to bring some of that sun to you, the viewers on YouTube, or just as many people as I can reach to bring them some relief regarding their loss. So, what I do is I pray and I meditate over some tools that I created on my own. So, I don't have decks to particularly call out like most tarot readers. I do this mostly intuitively, and I use some cards to get even more specific characteristics. I'll bring out eye color. I'll bring out their occupational energy, their energy as a person, some numbers and letters significant to them, a little bit of their story, some of their ailments and diseases and illnesses that they dealt with when they were alive, and a message to you from them. So, how this works. Pray and meditate over your person, the person that was significant to you that you believe intuitively or in your gut is still around you, even though they have passed, because you are probably correct. And I will confirm that for you. If this doesn't resonate, please subscribe and watch future readings or go back and watch any past readings. Some of those may resonate. This is pretty easy to do, especially if you pray and meditate over your person. They will come to me energetically. I've had it happen several times for my viewers. So, with further ado, let's go ahead and get started because I am bringing a male is coming forward, and he has a kind of distinct story. Um, he was, first of all, he was extremely close to his mother, and she was very important to him. He got some money, and I think possibly from her. I don't believe she passed and he inherited the money. I believe that she just went ahead and gave him some finances to kind of like get started on his life. They had a very close relationship. He met a woman around Christmas time, and he really wanted to marry this woman. But it turned out that that was not going to be his path, that her and him did not end up being together. They did not marry, and he kind of lived a bachelor life after that, hoping and praying to meet another person. So he was fairly abundant, I believe by an inheritance or just a gift of money from his mother. And after it didn't work out with this lady that he loved and wanted to marry. He kind of just went into a bachelor type of lifestyle. He did meet a woman after that period of time who had a child of her own, but he also was disappointed and did not feel great happiness around her because he realized pretty clearly with time that she was just after his money, per se, and maybe did not genuinely love him. Then, after that period of time, okay, so we're talking about the mother was around 20s, in his 20s, in his 30s. He inherited the money. He decided not to marry the person he was going to marry in his 20s, or she left him. He lived the bachelor lifestyle in his 30s. In his 40s, he met a woman that he was hoping was the one, but it turned out that she was a false person in his mind, so he let her go. In his 40s to 50s, he became ill. He came down with dementia first and Alzheimer's second. Now, the Alzheimer was significant and probably led to his demise. The reason why I say that is eventually he had to be brought before the court system. I don't know how else to say this. He had to have someone be made a guardian of his money and his life and himself because his thoughts were scattered and unorganized, and a court. And I see a police officer got involved at one point, so maybe something happened where he got lost or he wandered off from the house and a police officer was called. So I see all that going on for him, and you may have become his guardian. The person watching this video may have become his guardian. So you were very important to him. He was very important to you. You cared about him and you loved him very much. So this was not a short illness. This was a long, drawn out, suffering incident, which Alzheimer's is. It's a terrible, terrible, terribly ugly disease. And I'm sorry, so sorry you had to go through this. I'm so sorry for your loss. But I'm genuinely sorry that you had to go through this with him. I know it broke your heart. Um, but he is so thankful. He is going to stand beside you here on earth to let you know how much you mean to him. And I know that he thanks you for all of your care and concern. When he was working, before the Alzheimer really embedded itself in his life, he was a carpenter or worked in construction, or he built things. So he might have, there's so many ways. I mean, commercially, residentially, people can redo furniture, they can, but he could have been an architecture assistant, who knows, but he definitely loved to build things. He had a tape measure on his belt whenever you saw him when he had been working, a hammer on his holster, everything. He just was really into it and enjoyed it, and he was good at it. All right, so we know that he came down with dementia first and then Alzheimer's second. One of the other things that was going on with him was at some point he had to use a cane. I would imagine it would probably be the latter part of the disease that he was suffering from. Throughout his life, or towards probably 40, 50, I believe he passed in his early 60s, but he had some heart issues and he also was diabetic, which I would imagine that diabetes and Alzheimer's would be really tough to deal with. Of course, I guess you could feed them what they need, but it just would be, just to make things even a little bit more difficult. So I applaud you if you are the person that was there for him, even emotionally. Even if you weren't his main caregiver, you were significant to him, period. So I want to also let you know that to confirm further that this is your person, he was cremated and he was placed in a black urn. I believe the urn was buried. So on a lighter note, when he was alive and vibrant and healthy, he wore white mostly. So he might have worn a white collared shirt at his construction company, with the construction logo over here, but he wore a lot of white. He might have preferred white t-shirts or white dress shirts when he was going out casually, when you would see him to meet up to get something to eat or on a special occasion. I do have that he was creative, he was bold, he was innovative, he talked a lot, and he was extremely ambitious, but even though he was ambitious, he wasn't aggressive. His words weren't, he was aggressive in that he was successful, but he wasn't an aggressive personality. In other words, his words were very carefully spoken. They were smooth as butter or smooth as honey, and so he had a gift of the gab. He was able to make you feel bad when you are able to make you feel better when you felt bad. I'm sorry, when I intuitively get everything, my mind is going so much faster than my mouth can move. So please forgive me. I'm trying to work on slowing down, but the information just comes flowing in. He just always had the right thing to say to make you feel good. So that is how you developed a bond with him. and he was there for you when you needed him. I'm going to bring out an eye color for him. I have a bowl of marbles, and I just dropped them all. It's going to be one of those days. I apologize, that was loud, I know. All right, so let's take a marble for his eye color. I'm not going to look. All right, so he had green eyes. It's pretty distinct. That's really pretty. So he must have had green eyes or brown with this color green in them. So it might have been a brown hazel with the green running through, but beautiful eyes. And I also pulled some letters. Now I made these cards myself, and I made from A to Z, and I shuffle, and whatever falls to the floor is representative of this person coming forward. So I dropped the P card that you saw already. So I've got P. Now this could be representative of his first, middle, or last name. I have P, Q, V, L, and O. Now I see that this says love. So he might be telling you that he loves you. These letters also might be indicative of first, middle, and last name, like I said, the state in which he resided in, the street he resided on, or something else you know. He might have had a nickname that you see. One of the letters here might represent a nickname that he went by at work. So don't force things to fit, but think outside the box. All right. I also made a deck of numbers 1 through 31 because there are 31 days in every month. I like to ask the divine to give me something like a birth month, birth date, death date, or numbers that are significant to this person's life. So I got 3, which to me represents March, possibly. So March 14th. Okay, something happened the 31st day of one of the months that have 31 days. I also got 28. So these could represent 2014. Some significant event happened when he was 31 years of age. He might have had 3 children. He might have had his first child at 28, etc. So, like I said, think outside the box, but you don't have to force it to fit. It should. And I thought this was really unusual. 23, 24, 25. Do you know what this means? 23, 24, 25. Might have had an incident. He might have, you might not have heard from him for 3 days in a row, or something significant happened 3 days. These could be the 3 dates, 23, 24, 25 of any month. Or he might have 3 children who are now 23, 24, 25. I'm not sure. Siblings, etc. This might have been their age at one time. They might have been a year and some months born apart from each other, but at one point they might have all been just 1 year apart. I have 3 boys, and sometimes their birth dates land that way. So, like I said, think outside the box, but don't force it to fit. All right. Let's see. Okay, I think I've covered everything. I'm going to give you the messages from him. And he said, if I had only known then what I know now, I would have done things, or I would have lived differently. So you would know what that means? He said, it is beautiful where I am. So just know that he's happy, he's healthy, things are great for him. He said life is a series of choices. Choose love. So there's might be something going on in your life right now, and to me, this is a piece of advice that he has for you. This is his opportunity to speak to you. All right. And he also wants you to know I am just a thought away. I stand beside you. I am with you as an extra level of love and protection. And I am just a thought away. And then I also got mother's love. He is with his mother, and he is really happy about that. He loved her very much, and they had a very close relationship. So know that he is with her. Everything is fine. I hope that this brought some light to your loss, and just to know that he is with you here on earth and stands beside you as an extra level of protection, support, and love is a beautiful thing. And I'm so sorry that he um, had to deal with the Alzheimer's disease, and that you did too. And I'm thinking of you, Libra, and I hope this brought you some blessings and some light. And I love you. And bye bye from the fifth dimension. Bye.